Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
And this is Dion, otherwise known as CodeMarvelous from ANR Blackhats.
And this is Netrunner TeamworkCast. This is the finale from the RPC Regionals. This is the final game now. On the left we have MonkeyML, aka Yaro, playing the Silhouette. And on the right we have Rene playing the NEH. Welcome to the show, CodeMarvelous.
Thank you very much for having me, Krystian. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yes. So, have you? How many times have you played the Silhouette?
Me, personally?
Yeah, like in a regional. I mean, in a like a competitive tournament.
Never. 0 times.
Yeah, kind of an unusual sight on the top table here.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely unusual, but you know, much like when I had Constantine on my channel, you know, if you know how to pilot Silhouette and leverage that expose, you know, a skilled pilot can make up what she lacks in the power of the other criminal identities.
That's true, and we saw, like, of course we haven't, together we haven't seen this yet, but in the previous games in this series, we saw already Yaro playing the Silhouette against my deck, which was also an NEH, so we're kind of hoping, I guess Yaro is hoping for a kind of similar outcome here right now. We already see a couple of cards on his hand. There's a handshake and the game begins immediately, so the ability of Silhouette is going to be, the first time she does a run on HQ, she can expose a card.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good, but is it as good as Andromeda? Is it as good as Andromeda?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it's like the old Kate question. We see an install go down.
Yep. So that's Rene is playing the NEH, and the first time he creates a server each turn, like here now, he draws a card.
Alright.
And installs a second card here, and installs something in front of HQ. Of course, he's afraid of the count siphon. And I love it that Yaro is just...
Yep.
Yeah, you just run immediately, so that's really the nice thing about Silhouette.
Alright, there's the temples. Oh, this deck looks familiar.
Ah. Huh, funny thing, putting a temple inside an NEH.
I feel like it's a pretty good card.
But there's a
bank job.
little engine being rested in front of HQ, so that will stop Yaro for in the long term. There's a bank chop which Yaro used to get a bunch of money and trashes the temple.
Yeah. Well, it's worth noting that with the little engine, you're eventually, once he does have the ability to break it, his account ciphers are going to go back to being good because of the 5 credits.
See, you're also the kind of person who thinks he has a count siphon in his deck.
Well, he's playing blue. Why wouldn't you have a count siphon?
I know, right? Why wouldn't you?
Oh, the other temple comes out, so we've seen 2 out of 3.
There's a run on R&D as well, so that is going to be just a quandary. And the arrow keeps drawing more cards. So something I really love about an Silhouette is that you kind of have this huge incentive of running on HQ.
Yeah.
Even if they don't rest the right essence of HQ, they can expose the ice, and you know you can still get access to HQ. So you're very aggressive against HQ, and that's kind of really nice. It's something that a lot of players are not prepared to work against.
And it's also worth noting that Yaro is doing 100% the correct thing here. I played NEH Asset Spam for a year, and he's just getting rid of all must-trash assets on the first turn that he sees them, rather than waiting.
Temples have to go, and I really love the setup here. Here is the Desperado, and he has the secure testing, so these are 2 really great cards against the asset spam deck.
Absolutely.
It seems like Yaro drew all of the cards that he needs against this.
Yeah.
So there's some more pet campaigns going up, and Rene gets out the hedge fund. Yaro down to 2 credits.
But he can have 3 at any time.
Yeah, he does. He has like the little chip here to remind him where the secure testing is. Runs secure testing up to 5 credits now. Or checks the card. Oh, San, trashing it.
Yeah.
I hope he remembers the Desperado credit. He does.
Both these gentlemen are playing lightning speed.
They're playing very fast. It's difficult to commentate if you want to explain all the details here. So there's a new server being created by Rene. Dahill, by the way, is the nick that he uses in his tournaments.
Our savior Jesus Jackson comes up with the creepy version.
The creepier Jackson, yeah. The Wayland Jackson.
Yeah.
Watching a child from behind the glass.
Yeah, he looks so nice in the original art.
Yeah, he was like he couldn't even hurt a fly, you know. But nope.
Nope. Everything's got to be dark.
Yeah, he's the edgy one. He's the Spider-Man 3 version of...
Oh, jeez.
All right, so there's a hedge fund.
Checking the archives.
Sure gamble. And checks the archives.
Yeah,
and
that
course,
card on the top totally wasn't an agenda.
No, impossible. So the question is like, Yaro is being very aggressive with the runs. The question is if René has something like Biotic Labor, because if that's the case, then if Yaro keeps on being as passive as he is right now, René will be able to score something out eventually and then...
Start the train.
Start the train. So I think Yaro is really challenged to get some breakers out.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing some early game criminal stuff where he's just applying as much pressure as he can without breakers.
Yeah. And he managed to do this. He managed to rest 2 ice, one of them very expensive. Both of them are code kits, so I would assume a passport would be great. Although the remote server here suggests that that could be another quandary, and then what then, right?
Right.
So it would be great to also have like a solution for remote servers as well.
Yeah. I mean, also, he pitched an agenda, so chances are HQ hit eventually, even with just an inside job, would probably be good for him.
It could very well be that René is a bit agenda flooded, that he dropped off agenda because the agenda density on HQ was rising. Oh, there we go.
We're gonna start.
There we go.
We're gonna start the choo-choo. Yep.
That settles the question. That is the Biotic Labor, and I'm not sure what exactly he scored. Yeah, that was an Astra script. He put a token on it. Alright, so now the clock is ticking, and Yaro is really challenged to apply some pressure here. He hasn't fired his ability once throughout this game yet.
I mean, the little engine play on HQ turn 1, that's absolutely the right play.
Pretty tough, tough. But with the right breaker, it's gonna mean nothing.
There's
especially
the
with
inside jump.
Yeah, he wants to get in there, and he exposes the ice here, which is really such a great ability now. He knows exactly what he needs in order to contest all the servers. Whoa! Nice!
Yeah.
Celebration on the table going on, because this is really what he needed right now.
Yeah.
Well-timed snipe.
Did he get his Desperado credit?
I'm not sure. We're gonna display the smart messages. Oh man, there was a third Astro on hand.
Well,
what the?
At least he saved himself from the train, though.
Yeah, well, the train got pretty far, although yet. So you know, there's going to be like a BL, and then the final card is going to be like a 50 minutes or something.
Yeah.
2 Astros is bad.
Yeah. I hear Yellow's pretty good with that, you know, extra win condition of AstroScript pilot program.
They do that pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a Levy in a blue deck, which I haven't seen in quite a while.
Levy's very popular these days. Krystian.
Yeah, but not in blue, man. Not in blue.
Everybody's running it these days.
I mean, not in the decks I'm playing. Like, blue doesn't have to influence.
Yeah.
Just so little influence. Like 3 influence for the Levy? Was it 3 influence?
That's a gingerbread. He just drew a gingerbread.
Yep, there's a gingerbread in there. So right now it should dawn on you that this is a crazy deck.
And this is the finals, right?
This is the finals, yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, man. Like,
this is... I mean, if you watch the RS Star Championship, you know that Yaro is well known for being the crazy jank player in our meta. And so him being on the top table here is really great. By the way, great fan of Darth Vader, as you can tell. He's wearing a Darth Vader,
t-shirt.
No, it's not a t-shirt. It's like a jacket.
Our hoodie.
Yeah, hoodie. Yeah. And then he also, like, his silhouette is kind of like custom painted, so she looks like a Darth Vader.
Awesome.
Yep. Wearing the helmet, Darth Vader helmet, you know, underneath and stuff like that. Great. Very nice little details.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. There's a hotel being installed. Earthrise Hotel, getting in the card draw that he needs. He's pretty good on money. And he knows exactly what he needs to get in order to get in the server.
Right, because, he now he doesn't, necessarily, because he knows that the inside ice is a wraparound, and he has to know that that's probably some other gear check. So, you know what I mean?
Still no good breakers here. René uses this opportunity to ice up a little bit. He's well ahead with the Astro counter. He just needs to find some more agendas.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of money, so if Yaro can force another ice res, he can slow him down a little bit.
And also just one install of Passport or something will make R&D so vulnerable.
Right, absolutely.
Ooh, install on that server.
Via con huevos.
Alright, so secure testing archives. Yaro's making some math with his hands. That's how the pro players are doing. Offshoring some of that calculations. Ooh, corporate scandal.
And yeah, he's just like, what? Because
we have a reader.
Yeah. I want to create a sysop that just says like you gain a credit every time somebody has to read a card.
Yep. So then blackmail into that server. It turns out to be a Sansan. Sansan has been scored. Rene is kind of shocked by this. Kind of quite a surprise here, but I love this combo. Such a great combo. Reminds me, do you remember then those beautiful times where Silhouette won Chicago Regionals, was it?
Yeah, with the quest completed deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a resurgence here.
Corporate Scandal in blue is really good.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, Corporate Scandal works really... That combo works really well in the criminal aggression strategy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, all of your... Like, I get in once. It's kind of like a nice complements nicely the inside job and stuff like that.
There we go. You were just talking about the threat. Last click, it looks like he's going to be checking. And he sees a turnpike on the top of R&D. Yeah. Uh-oh, 50 minutes scored. So now Rene really just needs to draw into his final deal and call it a day. Yaro is really in a tough spot here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what Yellow does, right? He spent that time doing what he needed to do to get rid of the assets, but that little bit of breathing room on the centrals gave Rene the time he needed to set up a very favorable board state.
Definitely, definitely. Very difficult for Yaro to deal with. He can establish the R&D lock, but for how long? We know that Rene has the turnpike on hand. That will tax Yaro quite a bit.
I also see a car in there, sports car.
And that's good. That helps.
Yeah. Biotic Labor is the top card.
Well, not really that big of a threat right now.
Right.
Because the Astroscript counter is still there. So Rene can still fast advance a Beal if he draws into it. But good thing to know that he won't be able to draw into it. Although with the Biotic Labor, there is also the danger of fast track.
Yeah. But he doesn't have the money for that play currently.
Definitely not.
Because Yaro did get rid of most of his money assets except for the temples. And if the temples come back, they're not helping him score out. They're just helping him res ice.
There's a run on HQ? Ooh, that's not very good. All of these are code gates. And so Yaro does the math on how to get through there.
I mean, he'll get it. That run doesn't cost him that much.
Yeah, but he just needs to have a lot of upfront money to get through here. He will get it back eventually, but he just... So what's the math? 7 strength. The little engine is 7 strength, right? And the passport is 2 strength, but it pumps for 2 or something like this.
So it'd be 8 to break little engine one time, and then you'd get 5 back, so it'd cost you 3.
And you get 1 back for the Desperado, so
yeah,
it costs you 2. So 3 credits in to run HQ. Yeah. All right, security testing.
God, security testing Desperado is just so good.
It's so delicious, especially in this situation like this. And there we go, Pancha Tantra. And
dad bread.
Gingerbread.
Yeah, that bread.
And there's Snicker all around because this is just a bit of a crazy situation. But yeah, let's do this. Let's go Pancha Tantra Gingerbread on
Pancha Tantra boosts for how much? It's 1 for 1, right?
It's 1, yeah, I think. Let me look this up. I have to read this myself now. Let me see. There was a run on Air R&D.
Yep.
All right, so Pancha Tantra is it doesn't cost anything.
No. What does gingerbread?
Oh, gingerbread. Man, the math on Gingerbread is not that great, but the fact that he can break anything he wants if he wants to is kind of net.
Right. I'm just thinking about it, whether it's more or less efficient than Passport for Little Engine.
So for 2 credits, it gets 3 strength.
And
It starts at 2.
So it breaks it for 6 instead of 8. That's not terrible. And that's a trace ice, so he can just use Gingerbread to break it.
I don't think so. You have to pump the Passport 3 times, and with a Gingerbread, you have to pump it 3, 5, 2 times. Yeah, that's right. So 2 credits cheaper.
Resistor is the top card that is seen. Yeah, Renee's just waiting for an agenda to come up so he can close out this game.
Yeah, Baby comes out. Symmetrical Visage.
Yeah, that's also a classic Silhouette card, because you don't need a ton of draw when you're trying to get through that 40 card deck. It's a really good draw for a smaller deck, is what I've found.
Yeah. So something I really hate about Gingerbread, look at this Turnpike. Like, usually you would think, oh, that's a perfect target for a Gingerbread, right? It's just a weak tracer, but Gingerbread still breaks it for like 1, 2, 4 credits.
Yeah, it's awful.
Ugh.
That's why a lot of the Shaper Gingerbread decks are running a single Data Sucker to help with the math. I
think Data Sucker is a really good include there, yes. Because so often, like this one strength, it costs you 2 credits, one difference, and you can save a lot of money with a bit of the Data Sucker help.
So it looks like Yaro's trying to pick which one of these remotes he wants to check first.
I think checking remotes is something that he can do easily.
He's going to get his security testing money.
Yeah. I don't think that Rene will actually install any agendas naked like this. He would really just want to distract Yaro.
From pressuring centrals.
Yeah. Run with HQ.
I mean, he has to know that there's nothing in there. I mean, I guess there could be a global food.
Alright, so he used the Panchatantra.
It's 2, 4, 6. And then he's going to get the 5 back.
I like how he
visualizes. He didn't give himself his Desperado credit.
Probably not, yeah. I think he made a mistake there. I think we noticed at some point that he was forgetting this.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, this is the finals. You know, it's easy to lose track of those types of conditional triggers when you're really focused.
Definitely. Especially like when cards that you're not really familiar with. Like, you're not really breaking a huge card like Little Engine very often, and especially not with Panchatantra and Gingerbread. It's a bit crazy.
Yep. Oh, so that time he did it.
This is a misplay here because he runs in the same turn on HQ. And he can use it only once per turn, the Panchatantra.
Is it only once per turn or once per run?
It can be only used once per turn. But it's okay. It's not like MonkeyML is winning anyway.
He saw the same card anyway, so...
Yeah. It's no harm done. Just something for you guys to remember when you play these cards. It can be only used once per turn. So that's why having 2 of them might make sense.
Right. And that's why the Shaper rig obviously runs all 3, because they're in faction.
And Rene makes sure that this becomes as painful as possible by installing yet another card in front of HQ. Get some money with the Sweep Speak.
Yeah. I feel like the out for Yaro is R&D. He's got to try to snipe the agendas before Rene sees them.
Yeah, but the cost is just so crazy. 4 credits to get through that. Ugh. And maybe just ignore and get the tags.
I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen, I guess, you know?
Well, I guess there's like the I mean, it's all code gates, but what code gates? So that's going to be an Archangel. Yes, it's going to be very expensive to get through this.
That's crazy. Passport's the most efficient way for that one, because then it's 5.
Well, what would be really efficient here to have a Gordian Blade. Because then you can just pump it up, pump up the strength, and it keeps the strength throughout the entire run.
Yeah, but only classy criminals like Andy play Gordian Blade.
Yeah, who plays? What other runners play Gordian Blade these days?
Maybe CT.
That's true.
Or Kit, but probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, even better would be like a tutor. What's the breaker that keeps the strength? You pump for 2, but it keeps the strength forever.
Oh, study guide.
Yeah, exactly. This one would be great.
Archangel target number 1, or power shutdown target number 2. Like, it's such an amazing card to take off the board.
Oh, it is definitely.
All right, here comes the fast track. He's got.
Is that going to be the score?
I don't know if he can. I don't know if he's got the bits for it. Oh, no, he does have the bits for it.
He just puts on hand. There is not enough money for MonkeyML for Yarrow to get through a
HQ. Yep, so unless he can win off of R&D this turn, the game's closed.
Yeah, well, he can't because, man, look at the amount of money agendas he has. He only 2 agenda points.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, he would have to steal like 3 agendas. And then to make things even worse, René installs a card. We have to also remind maybe our listeners, the one from the top cut is Yarrow. So if Yarrow loses this game, there will be another game in finale.
Well, René's off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably going to be the last turn for Yarrow, and he has to really figure this out now.
Yeah, he just didn't get the breakers up fast enough.
Yeah, I think so too. He wasn't able to apply any sort of central pressure whatsoever. He did a good job with the assets, but just no central pressure.
Yeah.
There's some draw. He gets 3 credits from the secure testing. He has 2 credits left, 2 clicks left. I mean, there's got to be some kind of plan to get through HQ, right?
He's doing the math.
He's doing the math. And there's no way he can get in there. He just doesn't have the money. Unless he has something.
I mean, if he inside jobs the Archangel...
That would be great, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But there's a lot of math involved here. I was watching this game myself and I was like, man, my head is buzzing from all the math.
I mean, Little Engine's really, really good in the current meta. Yep, there it is.
Inside job.
I mean, you gotta go for it, right? Don't have a choice.
Yarrow managed snipe before in this game. He can do it again.
Yeah. And he gets the money he got besides what he spent on the inside job back.
There is 4 cards here. 5 cards. 1 in 5 chance to be in the game. Again the Biotic labor. No. And René can't wait to just draw. Oh, there were 2
global foods. Oh my god.
Oh, this is hilarious. It's also kind of hilarious situation for René to fast track into an agenda with having 2 more agendas on hand.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but it's not the agendas he needed. Yeah, just to see that Biotic labor over and over again, that feels terrible. Because it's not like he got an insignificant number of HQ accesses. He was just hitting the same card every time, which is really rough.
It's really rough indeed. So you know what I think was missing here in this game? And we've been talking about this last time I was on your show.
Turning wheel?
No, of course, Sneak Door Beta would be great.
Yeah. Sneak Door Beta is like the game closer.
That would have been just so good.
Yeah.
Like, especially in this last turn where it's like, oh, I'm just going to get this on hand and like Sneak Door Beta and running an HQ. But it didn't happen. I'm not even sure if he has Sneak Door Beta on hand.
Yeah, no.
And deck money.
I mean, I feel like criminals right now, like, if you've got the deck slots for it, it's worth just putting 1 in. Because when people forget about it, it'll just win you a game.
Yeah.
As we showed in our video.
As we demonstrated.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you have a show on the internet for those people who are not familiar with it. What are you doing there?
So I run a YouTube channel called ANR Blackhats, and what I do on my show is I have people from the community, such as yourself, and I have them on to talk about decks that they've played and had some competitive success with, and then we go through the deck lists, and then we also take the deck and we pilot it on Jinteki.net against a random opponent, and then I have my guests walk me through how to analyze the board state and how to make those key decisions.
Yes. Yeah. So where can people find this show?
We're ANR Blackhats on YouTube, just all one word. And then you can also find our podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, where we also have guests on talking about different aspects of competitive play. It's pretty good. Come check us out. You can, if you want a little bit more of Krystian's voice, there's four videos that he's joined me for in the past.
Definitely, one of my favorite shows. And also, by the way, the audio podcast is really good. You suggested to me when I visited you last time around. The one when you're kind of getting advice from advanced players and trying to, improve your Netrunner game.
Yeah.
I really enjoying that podcast a lot. So I think a lot of people should check it out as well on SoundCloud.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And thanks very much for having me on, man.
Thanks for joining me, and we're going to move on to the next game. And until then, we're going to, as always, hack the planet!
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car! Shit on me.
This episode of Netrunner TeamworkCast was created with a generous support from our listeners. If you enjoy the show and you can't get enough Netrunner videos, please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/hacktheplanet.